first in high definition from the station on your side. This is WAVY News 10.
Remembering Officer Timothy Schock. Today, the Chesapeake police officer who died during a diving exercise was laid to rest. Good evening, I'm Katie Collette.
And I'm Melanie Woodrow. Tom and Nicole have the evening off. Friends, family, and fellow officers gathered for a funeral service at Mount Lebanon Baptist Church in Chesapeake this morning. 10 on your side's Ann McNamara was at the service. She joins us now live with more. Ann?
Melanie, as expected, the church was packed. It holds almost 1,700 people, and there were very few empty seats. The service lasted more than an hour, and it was filled with memories of Timothy Schock, both in and out of uniform.
His personality, his laughter, his compassion, his love, his values, these have seeped into your blood, all of you who held and hold Tim so dear.
Chesapeake police officer Timothy Schock served 16 years on the force, 8 with the dive team, and in return, a sea of blue uniforms filled the seats at his funeral service to keep his memory alive. His friend, Daryl Gomez.
Tim had one of those personalities that once you met him, you were automatically gravitated towards him. He had the biggest heart of anyone I know. He was genuinely interested in everything that you had to say.
Friends say Schock had the gift of humor, always the first to lighten the mood with a quote from a movie. But it was his loyalty to his family and to the force that they'll remember most. Police Chief Kelvin Wright says Schock always asked to do more.
I recall a conversation I had with him some months ago in which he told me he was going to work hard and study so he could get on the police sergeant's list. Some people always say things like that, but Tim, he had a plan.
Schock's casket came into the church to the Marine Corps hymn and left in equal honor, escorted by the members of the Chesapeake Underwater Search and Recovery Team, many who trained with him the day he died.
For the way he lived, Tim is alive with God. By the way we live, let us keep Tim alive for ourselves.
Schock was buried at the Albert Horton Jr. Memorial Veterans Cemetery in Suffolk. And coming up new at 6, hear more from Colonel Wright, including a special poem he read for Officer Schock at today's service. Ann McNamara, 10 on your side.
Schock is the third Chesapeake police officer to die in the last 6 years. A man shot and killed Detective Jared Shivers during a drug raid in 2008. Officer Michael Safran was killed by a robbery suspect in 2005.
Portsmouth police say they're looking for 2 suspects that shot and killed a man during a robbery. It happened around 11:30 last night on Harris Road off of Victory Boulevard. Investigators say 25-year-old DeTwan Sims crawled toward his home. His family called police. We're told Sims died this morning. If you know anything, call the crime line. A Hampton shooting suspect is in custody after a SWAT situation at a hotel. Police say they got a tip early this morning that David Andrews was hiding inside this Best Western on West Mercury Boulevard. Detectives say he was involved in a shooting last night at the Walmart on Cunningham Drive and Mercury Boulevard. Andrews surrendered after several hours of negotiations. Police say another man was in the room with Andrews but was not a hostage. Right now, that other person is not facing charges. We're told the man who was shot last night has life-threatening injuries, and detectives are still looking for this man on your screen in connection with last night's shooting. If you recognize the suspect, call police.
The North Carolina toddler that was the subject of an Amber Alert and later found abandoned in Newport News is now with her grandparents tonight. 10 on your side just received the 911 tape after 22-month-old Juliana Reyes was found.
She's been abandoned. We've brought her inside.
Okay, a small child, about 2 years old.
Less than 2. She's freezing cold. You're probably going to need an ambulance.
A delivery truck driver found 22-month-old Juliana Reyes outside the Grand Strand Grill yesterday morning. She was wearing nothing but a T-shirt and a dirty diaper. The Cumberland County Sheriff's Office issued an Amber Alert for Juliana after the murder of her mother. 22-year-old Mariana Reyes was found shot to death outside of her Fayetteville home. Police are still looking for the suspect and Juliana's father, Alex Zelaya. A Virginia Beach family had a Christmas to remember, but for all the wrong reasons. The Bogan family has a small Christmas tree this year, but they don't need a lot of room for presents. That's because somebody broke into their home while the family was out of town attending a funeral.
It was, it was bad enough that we had to lose our Molly's father, and then this happened. We have to come home to this.
How the thieves got in and what they left with tonight on WAVY News 10 at 6.
We're on your side with a 10-time saver traffic alert. The eastbound lane of South Lynnhaven Road between Mustang Trail and Lynnhaven Parkway is closed because of a water main break. It happened about an hour ago. Crews are making repairs. The lane could be closed until about 10 tomorrow morning. A garbage truck driver ran into trouble this morning on his route. It happened in Suffolk near Carolina Road toward the state line. The truck flipped over in a nearby ditch. No one was hurt. A 10 on Your Side viewer took these pictures just minutes after the accident. If you see news happening, you can send us your pictures and video to report it at wavy.com.
Decision 2012, a drawing today by the State Board of Elections, puts Republican presidential hopeful Ron Paul first on the ballot for Virginia's March 6 primary. Mitt Romney will appear second. Romney and Paul are the only GOP presidential candidates who qualified for Virginia's ballot. Rick Perry and Newt Gingrich did not collect the required 10,000 signatures. Perry filed a federal lawsuit yesterday challenging Virginia's ballot rules in an attempt to get his name on it. A voter who wants to cast a primary ballot must first sign a pledge of intent to support the Republican nominee in November.
Well, the Navy says it will resume training at the Stumpy Point bombing range in North Carolina for the first time in about 8 years. Operations at the Dare County range could start as early as Monday. The range will primarily be used for target practice for machine guns from helicopters and light practice bombs from fixed-wing aircraft. The Navy says all ordnance will be inert. Well, tonight, a local couple's charged with neglecting a disabled woman in their care. Police arrested Lawrence and Sandra Batista. 10 on Your Side's Ariane Aramburo spoke with the victim's sister and is live at the residential home where the alleged abuse took place. Ariane?
That's right, Katie. This residential home was supposed to be a safe place, but for one of the residents living here was anything but pleasant. For the last 6 years, Mary Woody has been living at this residential home in Virginia Beach. She suffers from cerebral palsy and can't talk. It wasn't until the last 2 years that Mary's sister, Ivenia May, noticed something wasn't right.
Sometimes skin was missing from the back of her neck, on the top of her hands, and on her arms.
That's when May asked Mary's doctors to start documenting her sister's visits.
And they started taking pictures of her and documenting when she would show up with bruises on her.
May says she even witnessed her sister being abused by another resident.
I showed up unannounced to visit Mary, and within 5 minutes of my visit, the client that was abusing Mary, he came out of his room and he slammed Mary hard as he could with his fist right on her arm that she had just recently had surgery.
The Pleasant View residential home is run by Lawrence and Sandra Batiste. May doesn't think the couple abused her sister, but she does believe they knew what was going on.
The night that the gentleman hit my sister in my presence, Mr. Baptiste asked the client in front of me, didn't he tell him to stop hitting my sister? And the client said no.
Police arrested the couple on December 21st. We tried going to their home to see if they would talk. We even went to the residential home, but still no answer.
And we're suffering now because she suffered and she's been seriously injured.
May has moved her sister to another home, but she hopes her story will encourage other families to come forward.
Take my hurt and pain from my family and Mary, and let there be a lesson learned for you to step up.
Now, Ivenia and her family are working with an attorney, and the state has stepped in to temporarily shut down this residential home. We're live in Virginia Beach. I'm Ariane Aramburo, 10 on Your Side.
Breaking news out of North Carolina, where police are looking for an escaped inmate.
Pasquotank deputies say they were transporting 31-year-old Tracy Whidbey from the Albemarle jail to the magistrate's office yesterday. The sheriff told us Whidbey somehow removed his handcuffs.
When the deputy driving him arrived at the magistrate's office and opened the patrol car door, Whidbey ran away. The deputy started chasing him down Colonial Road, but while sight of him, he was in jail charged with communicating threats.
Now, he was last seen wearing his orange and white jumpsuit. If you know where Whidbey is, call the crime line at 252-355-5555.
Holidays ruined by fire. Next at 5:30, ways to protect yourself, your family, and your home during the winter fire season.
And if you built a bear recently, we're on your side with a potentially life-saving recall you don't want to miss.
This time last year, there was snow here in Hampton Roads and across much of the nation, but in 2011, it is much warmer. We'll show you how the mild winter is changing things.
That's a big change right there. It's going to be cold overnight. You can see clear skies right on down to the setting sun. It was fairly mild today, into the mid-50s throughout most of the area. It's going to get cold tonight. How about tomorrow and the weekend? Find out with our forecast in just a few minutes.
Prices are going back up at the pump. The cost of oil is also back up. The price of a barrel of light, sweet crude oil shot up yesterday to just more than $100 a barrel. This after Iran threatened to choke off oil supplies flowing through the Strait of Hormuz. The current average for a gallon of regular unleaded is $3.24. Virginians are paying on average $3.15. In North Carolina, the average price is $3.23 a gallon. WAVY.com has made it easy for you to find the cheapest gas prices in Hampton Roads. Just click on the On Your Side tab. Once you get to the page, scroll down and you'll see the red gas pump. There you can find a link to our gas tracker.
We're on your side with a consumer alert. It's a recall from Build-A-Bear Workshop. The store is recalling Colorful Hearts teddy bears because the eyes can loosen, fall out, and pose a choking hazard. So far, no injuries have been reported. If you have one of these bears, though, return it to Build-A-Bear for a coupon and a replacement stuffed animal.
A close call caught on tape will tell you how a police car ended up crashing into a restaurant. Hear from the people inside when it happened.
And people across the nation are checking the calendar because it should feel a lot different outside. We'll show you the problems the warmer weather's causing.
Hello, I'm Captain Artis Poe, serving at New Kabul Compound in Kabul, Afghanistan. I would like to say happy holidays to my wife Deborah and my son Daniel in Newport News, Virginia. I love you guys very much and miss you. See you soon.
WAVY TV 10's annual Every Drop Counts blood drive with the American Red Cross is underway. Just show up at Chesapeake Square, Greenbrier, Patrick Henry, or Pembroke malls. It's today through Friday from 2 to 7 p.m., December 31st from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., and January 2nd from 2 to 7 p.m.
I'm told that the two reasons why people don't donate blood are they're afraid of needles, and I promise you the time with the needle in the arm is about 6 to 10 minutes. It's pretty quick. The whole process takes approximately an hour, start to finish. But if you met a 4-year-old with leukemia or someone that you loved needed blood, you know you could do this. And people say that it hadn't occurred to them or they've never been asked. So I'm asking you to donate blood. Please come out and donate. It feels amazing to give the gift of life. And you don't know who you're helping, but I've met some of those people, and they are truly grateful.
It really is super simple to do. You'll find more information about the blood drive on WAVY.com. Well, unseasonably warm weather in much of the country is delaying usual winter activities.
As Kirk Gregory shows us, from melted ice rinks to those bare ski slopes, the warm weather has winter enthusiasts praying for snow.
What a difference a year makes. Warm December temperatures are in stark contrast to what much of the nation experienced at this time last year. In 2010, parts of Georgia saw a rare white Christmas. This month has seen people on Tybee Island swimming in the ocean. Winter is hiding in ski country as well, where in western New York they're missing an important element.
Are you missing the snow?
Yeah! So far this month, the area has only seen 3 inches of snow, about 27 inches below normal. In fact, it's been 13 years since there's been this little snow in December. Those who love the snow are holding out hope.
It's going to be a super season. We got lots of time left.
We are 2 lake effect storms away from being full open, so I'm sure it's on its way.
In Rochester, New York, they're doing a different kind of skiing, where the water temperature was a crisp 40 degrees. The mild winter has put a damper on 2 Connecticut families planning to set up an ice rink for their kids. Instead of a glistening sheet of ice, warm temperatures left them with a 1,900 square foot puddle. In Fargo, North Dakota, warmer than normal temperatures are causing thin ice and dangerous conditions for animals. It's more of the same in neighboring Minnesota, where the weight of this ice fishing shelter was too much for the thin ice. Adding to the odd weather pattern, so far this year, West Texas has seen more snow than Buffalo, New York. Kirk Gregory, NBC News.
There was even a time when folks in Arizona were getting snow, and we haven't even seen a thing here.
No, but I am really excited about the warm New Year's Eve forecast.
Yeah,
I
it
like
looks
that.
pretty good. It looks pretty good. It looks like it'll be 55, 59 degrees coming up over the weekend. I was just looking back at some records from last year. Really, we were 9 degrees below normal for last year for the month of December, and so far this year we're 6 degrees above normal for the month of December. So again, big difference. And of course, last year we were still digging out of that 14-inch snowfall from the day after Christmas. So again, really big difference in what's going on. Today, not bad. Hardly a cloud in the sky throughout the area. We could still see a couple of stray clouds coming up tomorrow, but not all that much. You can see some cloud cover on off to the west of our area, and we could see a little bit of that coming up for tomorrow, but nothing real big. It's going to end up warmer for the weekend. Cold, though, overnight with our clear skies that we have through the area and light winds. Even though the winds are going to be very light and become southwesterly, it's going to end up being a very chilly night. It'll drop into the upper 20s to low 30s. It might even be the mid 20s into a few inland spots. Light southwesterly or west southwesterly winds at 5 to 10 tomorrow morning, 10 to 15 at the noon hour for tomorrow. Now, the thing about it is that there's a lot of colder air off to the west of the mountains. Usually a southwesterly or westerly breeze means that it's going to warm up a little bit, but that colder air will start to move on into the region for tomorrow and hold our temperatures about where they were for the day today, maybe a degree or two cooler. Here's where we are by 7 o'clock tomorrow evening. Couple of stray clouds in the northern portions of our area. Here's where we are on Friday. It'll definitely warm up for Friday. Southwest winds 10 to 20 miles an hour, and they're going to really pump some warmer air into the area for Friday. It'll likely be around 60 degrees, way above normal again. 10 to 15 mile an hour winds at the end of the day on Friday. Now, again, a beautiful day. Lots and lots of sunshine into the area. A couple of clouds every now and then, but we can see that sunset all the way to the horizon. Very dry air when we look at things horizontally. And usually we'll see the sunset and it'll stop right into here because of a haze in the lower atmosphere, but there's no humidity out there right now, so that means temperatures are really going to drop overnight. Last night they didn't drop much at all, 46. High today 55. Temperatures right now upper 40s and low 50s throughout the area. Here's what we expect. Well, we've got temperatures right now, again, 48, 52 degrees. Lows last night were not that bad, only into the 40s. And right now the winds are going to drop on down, still gusting to around 15 to 20 miles an hour. Low temperatures last night, 45 to around 46, 43 degrees into the area. Significantly cooler tonight, upper 20s in mainland areas, low 30s closer to the water's edge. We move to the peninsula around 27 to 30 degrees. Middle Peninsula, Northern Neck, Eastern Shore, 27, 28. Tomorrow during the day, pretty much the same in terms of a temperature, maybe a degree or two cooler. A lot less wind for tomorrow. 61, though, on Friday, 58 on Saturday, 60 degrees coming up on Sunday, then cooler and very much cooler into the first part of next week.
A wild police pursuit caught on camera. A suspect squeezes by other cars. We'll tell you how the driver got away with the car and show you how this all ended.
And when animals attack, a Suffolk woman talks about fighting off a potentially rabid fox. Her story is next at 5:30.
A Michigan man's wild ride started with a stolen patrol car and ended with a crash. The suspect was arrested for having a meth lab at a motel, but he managed to slip away. Video from the dashboard camera shows the suspect stealing the car, then leading officers on a 1-hour high-speed chase through traffic. The suspect made it through several tight spots before eventually crashing. Luckily, no one was hurt. Police arrested Ryan Cunningham and charged him with fleeing, illegal gun possession, and of course, operating a meth lab.
People eating at a New Mexico restaurant say it was a miracle nobody was hurt when a sheriff's deputy crashed his patrol car into the patio. Take a look at the surveillance video. The sheriff's office says the deputy was on his way to a call when another driver hit his car. The deputy, as you can see, spun out, hit a snowbank, then flipped. The patrol car crashed into and destroyed several cars in the parking lot before slamming into the patio.
It was just mayhem, and I'm smelling gas and hearing gas. So I grabbed this fire pit and dragged it out into the parking lot with the help of a couple people, jumped in and helped me pull it.
It was like a big bomb. We rushed everybody out the back door is what we did because we didn't know if it was going to blow up.
State police are investigating whether the officer or the woman who hit him are at fault.
Well, do you think the traffic in Hampton Roads is bad? Take a look at this. This is what Highway 99 in Manica, California looked like yesterday. A big rig hit a car and slammed into an overpass, then burst into flames. When emergency crews arrived, they discovered the truck was stuck under the bridge. Traffic backed up for miles while firefighters put out the fire and cleared the scene. No one was seriously hurt.
Who do you look up to? We'll tell you the top men and women the world admired in 2011 straight ahead. Plus,
it's the best thing for our babies. It's what women are our bodies are made for, to bear children.
Dozens of moms gathered to hold a peaceful protest today. Why they're speaking out about a woman's right to breastfeed. Next at 5:30.
President Obama and Secretary of State Hillary Clinton are once again the most admired man and woman in the world in 2011.
That's right, Melanie. Both topped the USA Today Gallup poll with 17% of the votes. President Obama, the most admired man for the last 4 years. Clinton's been the most admired woman by a record 16 times since 1993.
Oprah Winfrey, Michelle Obama, Sarah Palin, and Condoleezza Rice round out the top 5 most admired women.
President Obama is followed by George W. Bush, Bill Clinton, Reverend Billy Graham, and Warren Buffett.
And you can go to WAVY.com and click on Our Year in Review. You can check out the timelines and view photo galleries of the top news stories of the year.